Hello, this is Duncan here with Cambridge Retail Advisors, hosting the latest edition of Cambridge Coffee Corner. In this latest edition, it's part 4 of a 4-part series on AI. And on this edition, we're talking about change management in AI. And helping us through this subject is Joaqui Wilkins, the change management practice lead for Cambridge. We've got Lawlor, project management for Cambridge Retail Advisors. Hi, Joe. And Ken Belanger, vice president of Cambridge Retail Advisors. Hi, Ken.
Cheers.
So we're going to jump straight in, and I'm going to come straight to you, Joaqui, to help us get started on this. We've heard a lot about AI reshaping retail. With some of these initiatives, could be very large. Give us some of your guidance on how they can be preparing for this and getting ready for these kind of changes within their organizations.
Okay, thanks, Duncan. So the very first thing that I would say is let's just start with awareness. There are so many people that are scared of AI because of numerous reasons, whether they fear it's going to take over their jobs or they just don't understand it. You have to explain it to the workforce what it is and why it's important and what it's going to do. In addition to that, I would say upscale early. For those that don't understand what's going on, start to train the people before the tech goes live. That's a must, because if you don't, you're going to put in tech that no one understands, no one's going to use. And then involve the teams in the process. Just involve them early on. Let the employees test out the tool, see what it does. Let them give you feedback and help you shape out the rollout.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
Yep. I think you're dead right, Joaqui. There's going to be examples of, I'll say, repetitive workforces that might have been involved in chat conversations, and those could be replaced with AI and things. But there's many, many other use cases where you could say the team that is being affected is actually going to be more profitable, even with the existing employees, because they're focusing their work on the 10% of edge cases that need some good human interaction, rather than the other 90%, which is the mundane and repetitive stuff that doesn't really add value.
Yes.
So I think getting the workforce pointed at the value add is a really good one. What do you think, Ken? Over to you, sir.
Right on point, Duncan. For any retailer that's investing in AI, so whether it's, supply chain, point of sale, they also need to invest in AI in their change management. And that is always critical around making sure that you understand the processes, make sure that you're keeping track of kind of where the project is, leveraging AI. So if you're not using AI in your change management while you're doing AI other places, you're going to basically run into some challenges. And it's really optimizing, again, the change management capabilities that you need to provide.
Yeah. What's your thoughts in this area, Joe?
Yeah, it's hard to disagree. I think people often overthink this sort of project. It's like any other. A simple gap assessment is a great way to start a project prior to going full bore and hoping to figure things out as you go. There's not much to add to either of their responses, but before you start the project, also make sure this investment in technology is aligned with your overall strategy. Sometimes the buzz gets the better of people, and they're putting dollars before real competent strategic thinking.
Good thinking. Thank you. So what is AI enablement, and why is it important? Let me come back to you on that one, Joaqui.
So to simply put it, it's everything that Duncan and Joe is talking about. It's making sure people, process, systems are ready to use AI effectively. Keyword effectively, right? So it's about building the skills and the workflows and overall the mindset of the workforce in order to get the value out of it. So if you don't have the enablement feature of AI, it will just end up as another expensive tool that hasn't been used to its fullest potential. I'm sure we all seen that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. By getting those investments going, you need the people on board to unlock the value of it. Otherwise, as you said, it's just an expensive tool that does it sits on a virtual shelf gathering virtual dust.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
What do you think in that area, Ken?
I think when retailers understand personalization from an e-com perspective and other areas of their business, they also need to take a look at personalization when they're starting to train their employees. So change management, being able to train your employees based on their roles, their expectations, their learning capabilities, and how much time they're actually doing, whether it's in store or in supply chain. They may not necessarily have as much time to do the training. Okay, what does that look like? And how can AI make it relevant and practical for them?
Yeah. Joe, any thoughts in that area?
No, it's hard to bat third with these two. I mean, they really walked off the tree.
Thanks.
It may be straying into other categories here, but it doesn't. I guess the parable is you don't have to eat an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. And AI kind of applies here too. You don't need to go full bore. You can go with small projects and understand how the company reacts, how your employees react, and develop strategies to launch other pieces later based upon that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joe got the message about batting third, so you're going to be batting first on this next one. Let's talk about resistance to change and the fear that might be built into the affected folks, where their job's going to change, or it's going to be more efficient, or in large teams areas there could be reductions in staff. How does that get handled? How do you overcome those kind
it's
of?
a really fun topic because AI, people have been fearing AI for centuries. And people have been, I mean, even since like James Cameron, thinking about AI, I hate to stray too much, but I mean, so when you get to it today, most people don't think of robots first, but they think about their jobs, obviously. And you also have to think about the nature of tech and the boom bust nature of what AI is today. Sam Altman goes to a Senate hearing and says, please govern me. I don't know what I'm doing. This technology is going to ruin us all. And because I'm a nerd, I read the transcript, and he references nuclear power 9 freaking times. He compares it to a nuclear weapon. How much fear is there? It's technology. For his sake, he's trying to amp it up. He's trying to make exciting, uncontrollable technology. Well, as the consumers, as an average employee, you kind of feel it, and you don't know, how that's going to impact you. And in any new technology, in any new project, there's always fear. There's always rumors. There's always the unknown. I guess to sum that whole thing up, I'd encourage curiosity in my employees. You should ask questions. I should be listening to your questions. I should be answering them, and have you as a partner along the way. Lower what the learning curve experience is going to be. Make sure people understand that this is not going to be a Herculean effort. This is something you can do, and it's been like any other tool.
Yeah.
First, it was big data if we were talking in the early 10s, then it was Internet of Things, and now we're here, which is really a culmination. Not to be feared like the T1000, but to be embraced and seen as a tool to do their job better, and to make the company stronger to compete in the market. So that's enough Terminator references for me. I'll kick it over.
I was all over the Terminator references there, Joe.
Sorry.
I think Skynet's the way forward, personally.
We'll see.
Jackie, batting second now. How can you add to that? Go over to you.
I mean, Joe hit it right there on the head. But you really have to understand your workforce. Like, this is like one of the first times we have so many different generations in the workforce, and we have to understand that everybody's comfort level is different. I mean, I know, for instance, for a past client, the majority of the workforce was over the age of 60 when we were trying to implement an AI solution. They were terrified. We were talking about putting things on their phones, and it was like, what in the world put on my phone? Well, first of all, I have to get a phone, right? That's what we're talking about here. So really understanding the workforce, understanding how they feel. People are seriously uncomfortable. Some people are uncomfortable. And taking that into consideration when you're doing all these training plans, understanding how they learn, understanding, give them real life examples that are relatable to them, because that's a big point why people don't want to adopt AI, because they don't know how it benefits them. Yeah, this is cool, but I mean, what can I do? So you have to bring, like Joe said, bring them along on the journey, make them a partner, get
Mhm.
that early buy-in from them.
Yeah,
Great.
and I think that AI can do a better job of early detection of where that critical path is on the project
Mhm.
and what needs to be done, through automation to offset whether it's the project is not scheduled properly or we underestimated the scope.
Mhm.
I think AI will really help keep the projects better on track and under
Yep.
budget.
Yeah.
Agree.
So we'll round it up with a bit of an open question here, where have we come across scenarios where retailers are resisting AI initiatives, and if that's the case, are those retailers doomed, or can they be helped along? What do we think there? Who wants to pick that up?
I don't think they're doomed. I think it just, like I said, it just comes down to understanding their overall workforce. We have to keep in mind AI just suggests. The human makes the decisions.
Mhm.
And we have to look at it as a coworker, but that comes with explaining it to the workforce, making sure they understand, okay, you don't have to do this repetitive task anymore. We can use this tool that can assist you and cut down on the time so you can have time to do other things that you may want to do in your job,
Yeah.
to take on more responsibility and
Yeah.
help them celebrate the wins overall.
Yeah, yeah. I think the one way of selling it is actually that you're actually turning workforce into managers. They are managing AI things beneath them,
Mhm.
and they've
That's a
actually
great
now
point.
got a resource beneath them dealing with something that's beneath them, and in a bit more of a mundane area that allows them to focus on the value add.
Mhm.
So I think that's one area that they can pick up on and run with. So Joe, now you're batting fourth. We'll give the closing thought to you, Joe.
Well,
What do you think?
what was the question again? Help me out here, Duncan.
Around partnering with AI instead of resisting.
Partnering instead of resisting. Yeah, I mean, I have not worked with a client that didn't resist some sort of technology in some area of their business. There's always a balance between the costs and other costs of other areas that they need. So yeah, there could be a competitive disadvantage over time if they delay too long in the costs. But actually, what's funny is everyone has a point of sale that works in retail, and no point of sale lasts forever. So in the next 10 years, whatever they end up getting will have this baked in.
Mhm.
And they'll just have to adapt to it at that point. It's like
Yeah.
a car about, airbags or electric, windows. It's like, good luck finding it. It's on Craigslist, but you're not going to find one new that integrates with your AI system. That's just impossible. So,
Yeah.
So, Joe, resistance is futile.
so now
Is that what you're saying?
we got board references. We got. I knew this would be the fun group, so I'm glad I got on.